Boosie opens up his mouth so much about gay peen that I would not be surprised if his throat and other things open up for it as well. Let's play a game. Let's take a test. I want you to answer this question as best you can, okay? So Boosie is trending. Is it trending because of his weird fascination with gay peen, or is it trending because of his whack-ass music? It probably took you 0.001 seconds to answer that question. Now, I feel like I've been talking about Boosie a lot recently, and he's just been saying the same shit, so it's not gonna be anything surprising in this video. I just know that I was gonna talk about him in another video with a bunch of different topics, and I just felt myself like already, as soon as I was trying to record it, I felt myself just talking and talking and talking. I said, you know what? Let me just record this in a standalone video and just be done with it. Now, let me tell you something. Okay, Boosie is 38 years old, all right? That means he's been in the industry for, I mean, only Odin knows. Only Odin and Odinson. You know, maybe Loki knows too, but only Odin, I feel like, knows how long this nigga been in the game, right? I mean, so yeah, like I said, Boosie is 38 years old and Lil Nas X is 22. Every time this nigga opens his mouth, it's always about Lil Nas X. It's never about his whack-ass music. Like I said earlier, I feel like his music sounds like if Oscar from Sesame Street would bang some fucking garbage can lids together, like, you know what I mean, in the middle of the fucking street. It sounds like if a tornado came through and picked up some garbage cans and banged them on the side of some brick buildings. Like, bitch, instead of opening your mouth about this, you know, corny ass music that you're running around here trying to make, like, why is it that you talk about this 22-year-old over and over and over every time I mean, that's the only time you ever get attention. And I feel like that's probably the only time you ever got attention where you were previously, you know what I mean, was when you talked about peen. And maybe that's why, like, I really feel like we need to contact some, I don't know if it's a skateboard company or some type of shit for some knee pads, since you always on somebody deep, since gay peen is always coming out your mouth and going inside of it. Like, have a conversation about your damn discography. Like, that's what I feel like you need to be doing on these platforms. But see, that's another thing about these platforms, is that it's always, the platforms are always given to these fucking these weirdos who participate in sexual assault of their own fucking kid and nephews. Boosie, you know what I mean? He did that. It's always going to the homophobes, the transphobes. I mean, even some of the people doing the goddamn interviews are already like, it's giving abusers tea. So it makes sense that you would have this type of person to come up there and talk. And of course, I can't avoid this shit. I mean, even if I don't watch the entire interview, which I definitely did not, but the clips, you can't avoid that shit because unfortunately, that platform's reach is so far and wide, okay? And that little clip that he spoke, of course, about Lil Nas went viral and everybody talking about it. So like I said, I was gonna address it in another video, but I could already feel, and I'm glad I made this choice, I can already feel that I'm gonna be talking about it for a little minute. One of the things Boosie hid behind, and a lot of people do this, and this is why I wanna talk about it. A lot of people hide their homophobia behind the what about the children argument. Even though, like I said, this nigga literally hired a grown ass woman, literally hired, is giving pedophile, like, he literally hired a grown ass woman to touch his, I don't even know, prepubescent ass, you know what I mean, relatives in his goddamn family. Okay, so we already know the type of shit that you talking about protecting kids and you want to protect the motherfuckers that's closest to you. That's the first thing. Like, I'm so sick and tired of Boosie opening his goddamn mouth. The second thing is that it's such a predictable, it's such a boring argument that people use to try and vilify the LGBT community, the entire community. They come up with these, oh, what about the children? You doing all that shit naked. The reason why I said I want to beat Lil Nas X up, basically what he's saying is, oh, well, Lil Nas said he finna go up there and dance naked and basically do all that gay shit, naked, being naked on stage and all that shit. I'm just like, meanwhile, all these straight niggas got all types of naked women in their goddamn videos. Boosie was showing bare ass on Instagram Live. We ain't gonna talk about what you do to the kids in your own fucking family, but yeah, people like to tie this what about the kids and like this weird idea of perversion and shit to the LGBT community. They like to tie, oh well, y'all are doing this in front of kids, y'all are, you know, preying on our kids. They like to hide their homophobia, and it's not hidden that well behind this what about the kids argument. Meanwhile, like you can see in Boosie's case, he don't even treat the kids in his own fucking family with no type of fucking human dignity, right? He don't even look out for their ass. I mean, literally the source of abuse to his own flesh and blood. And you sitting over here worried about what Lil Nas X or what gay people are doing. I just feel like straight people got a lot of nerve when they had control over the entire planet, and this is what the fuck they came up with. Like, y'all need to shut the fuck up. He and a lot of other homophobic people seem to live in this weird, like, world of delusion where, you know, in some alternate universe, I guess, they're the ones who are oppressed. They're the ones who have been ostracized for being themselves. They're the ones who are so scared to say that they're straight. Like, they're really acting like people like Lil Nas X, or people who are, you know, bold or unapologetic about who they are and their sexuality is creating this world where, you know, straight people can't be straight no more. And I'm just like, I hate these idiotic ass arguments. They really try to beat around the bush instead of just saying, I don't like gay people. And it's just like, why do y'all come up with these, like, you know, unsupported ass arguments, non-researched ass, you know, monologues and rants and shit? Why do y'all come out here acting like y'all care about these kids? Why do y'all come out here acting like straight people or heterosexuality is suddenly this oppressed group? Why do y'all come out here acting like y'all are the ones getting fucking hate crimes? Why do y'all come out here trying to validate your bigoted ass mindsets? And why do y'all come out here trying to excuse your homophobia instead of just standing up in that shit? Just say it. Like, trying to follow a mental thought process around that has no fucking logic, it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to, you want us to listen to all this bullshit that you're saying and you don't even know how to use basic fucking logic. Why am I sitting here listening to this shit? All you have to do is say you don't like facts. Like, that's it, just say that shit. Just say that shit. And then he brought up the baby and like, oh my gosh, you're not allowed to say this shit. Who prevented the baby from saying that shit? He could say that shit. And matter of fact, he's going to be brought closer. The more homophobic he is, the closer he's going to be brought to his diehard fans. So what I'm saying is just stand up in the shit. A lot of these people, including Boosie, are trying to present themselves as people who can, like, think in complex ways, who can, you know, analyze researched and complex fucking argument. They're trying to act like they really are somebody's fucking Einstein or some shit. Bitch, you know your fucking mental capability. Stop acting like you're pulling together these, you know, deep thoughts about what is homosexuality doing to us and what is it doing to our society. Y'all don't even have the fucking range or mental capacity, the brain power to even think in the way that you're trying to present that you could think about that shit. I don't know if you bitches think you Aristotle or some shit. Like, you don't have the vocabulary to even try to speak about the shit that you're trying to speak about. And even while you're trying to do it, even while you think you're giving a fucking TED talk or some shit, the equations that you're trying to make, the comparisons that you're trying to make from heterosexuality to homosexuality, like, it doesn't even make any fucking sense. Stick to your lane, stick to the rivers and the fucking lakes and shit that you're used to. Just say, I hate homos, and sit your ass down. Stop, you know, giving us this long ass essay that you thought that you were giving us PhD level, and it's written by a fucking, you know, pre-K. I don't even want to disrespect preschoolers, you know what I mean, by implying that you are on intellectual level with that ass. You bitches are not fucking smart. I think that's what I wanted to say. I think after all this shit, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got to the point. You bitches aren't fucking smart. You bitches. So what I think is, instead of trying to go on these, you know, radio shows and interviews and shit and trying to give your in-depth thoughts about what you think these homos are doing to society and shit, instead of acting like you bitches have enough gray matter to do that shit, just stick to the one sentence, the one syllable fucking answers that you bitches are used to giving, and just say, homo hate, LGBT, me no like. Just say that and let's be done with the situation. I'm so sick and tired of hearing bitches with no vocabulary speak. And for them to be given over and over and over, for them to be given a platform over and over, you don't know shit. You don't know shit. And that's the bottom line, is that these bitches are getting the validation from other weirdo abusive bitches, you know what I mean, to get up here and just speak when they don't know shit. Just stick to grade 1, like, or pre-K level homophobia and say, I don't like gays, and that's it. And this nigga thinks that we are, like, so foolish. I ain't never seen a gay man speak about gay men as much as Boosie speak about gay men. You see what I'm saying? You think we really stupid. Every single time, I mean, you could say if you say Boosie's gonna come out your mirror like this, bitch. You say gay 5 times, he's gonna appear in your room, okay? You say the first letter, he's in your mirror. You say the whole word, he's gonna appear inside your apartment, inside your house, like you did a magic trick or some shit. It's something going on there, Boosie, and it needs to be worked out between you and Child Protective Services, of course, but you and your own sexuality, because you right now, while you think that while you think you may be disguising whatever the hell you think you got going on, we can see it clear as day, because you can't let it rest. You can't let, if there's a gay topic going on social media, if it's trending, you can't shut the fuck up for 1 minute. You have to get your thoughts out. And it's just like that level of repression. I'm so happy that that's nowhere near me. You see what I'm saying? I'm so happy to live a life of like I'm fully expressing myself, so that when I see other people doing that shit, I'm not hopping on to all these fucking platforms instead of talking about my work, instead of talking about my art, instead of talking about my music, instead of talking about the industry. I'm over here focusing on a 22-year-old kid while I'm 38 who's new in the industry, and I claim to be some veteran, and that's the only thing my mind can fucking hyperfixate on. You are telling on your fucking self. And it's corny, it's annoying, and like I said, stick to the intellectual lanes that you bitches are used to. You really came out here acting like you were giving us a dissertation, and it looked more like you talking in circles or you writing in circles with Crayola on some construction paper. It wasn't no dissertation, it was an arts and craft project, and there was nothing creative about it because we heard it all before and it's fucking boring. It's just really annoying to me because LGBT artists, LGBT people in general, but LGBT artists deserve to be able to build their fucking careers without this bullshit happening. You got your crusty ass in the game. Nobody was coming to you telling you that you need to stop fucking with women, that you need to stop, you know what I mean, all this straight shit needs to get off the air, all this shit that all this guns and drugs and shit that you rapping about don't need to be in front of our kids. You didn't have to tolerate a lot of that bullshit when you got in the game, and now these young queer artists have to hear, you know, while they're making their fucking art and music, while they're, you know, trying to navigate a world and industry that wants to discard their ass, they have to hear how your comments on their fucking sexuality. Bitch, he's not fucking you. He's not fucking you. If you want to focus on some dick, bitch, fried with sausage or some shit and put that shit in your mouth so maybe it can give you some type of comfort. Maybe, like I said, you was someplace else before. Maybe you having withdrawal symptoms. Maybe they need to lock your ass back up. Like, I don't know, like, open your browser, log into some niggas OnlyFans if they still got sexual content up there. Open your phone. If you don't know where to start, search gay porn on Google and a lot of that shit will line up. If you want that kind of dick in your mouth, I'm all for it. But as far as your comments on the LGBT community as a whole and in the industry, you need to get up off those dicks specifically. You can have the rest of it, you know, imaginary dicks, or like I said, sausage. It may give you that feeling that, because I feel like you have an oral fixation or something, it may satisfy that urge that you seem to have. But as far as the dicks of the LGBT community, you need to get up off those. And on that note, oh, I'm so sick and tired of this motherfucker and everybody else who sound like his ass. On that note, he can kiss my ass and you can have a good goddamn evening, bitch.